have been wanting to make this video for months. I had to play test this thing. I had to go through this box. This is the stretch goal promo box for Marvel United. That was a Kickstarter like 2 years ago. And they had another one that's going to ship soon for X-Men. And to pick this thing up, you're looking at like somewhere between $300 and $400. So we really got to know, is this worth it? And I'm going to try to tell you what it is. If it's worth it, if you go on Amazon right now, you can get it for like 300 bucks. Okay, from various resellers, your game stores. Usually looking at like 320 bucks for shipping. The base game itself, you can get some pretty good deals on. You can get the base game for like 20 bucks, and you do need the base game to use this thing. So that like factors into the cost too. So another 20, 40 bucks on top. This is a great deal. I just saw this when I was looking around. I wonder if anyone doesn't have, the base set, this is a very good deal. You get the base set and you get Spider-Man and Doctor Strange for one low price of like under 40 bucks. It's a great deal on Amazon right now. If you look up Marvel United, if you don't have it. But what we want to know, is this worth it? I wanted to know if it was worth it. I bought the damn thing. I got a pretty decent deal on it. I got it bundled with a bunch of other stuff. So let's say I paid around maybe $150 for it. And I wanted to know, is it fucking worth it? Is Simon ripping me off, or do they make a good product? So me and my daughter tested the whole fucking box. We played the whole box we each played 2 heroes. So we got like a 4-player experience, which I think is the best way to experience it. If you play by yourself, I would play with 4. I wouldn't just play with 1 hero, play with 4. It's kind of like a better experience that way. You can do team ups and stuff, and I don't know, there's more strategy involved. If it's just 1, you're probably going to lose. It's not a very good single player game. You want to have people to play this with you. You can play it by yourself. More fun to play with other people. Okay, so we're going to go into this. Let's have a look at it. And to do this, I have a new setup here. I got a new setup. We're loading it up. It's experimental. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. This is going to be exciting. There it is. That's on my table right now. So we're going to talk about Squirrel Girl, okay? We're going to go through every hero and every villain in the box. I'm going to show you the minute. This is live. Look at that. See that? That's live, okay? That's right, everybody. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. How cool is that? Okay. All right. So that is Squirrel Girl. And my notes, I have notes on all of these. And Squirrel Girl is very good. You can also find these characters. Another thing you can do is you can look on like Amazon or on eBay. And you can find the full sets for like, $300, $400. Or you can buy individual characters for between like, $10 and $20. So if you, as I'm talking about this, if you play Marvel United or you want to get into it, you don't have to buy like the whole fucking box to just get the character that you want. You can just buy them individually. And then you can make a determination whether you need like the whole box or you just want one. And for that reason, let me go through these because some of these are better than others. Some of these, straight up, I'm going to let you know, are boring as hell and kind of suck. Squirrel Girl is actually very good. She's interesting. Every character comes with cards. If you play the game, you know this, but you got a deck of cards for every character. Squirrel Girl has some pretty interesting abilities. She's not just basic. There are some characters in the game that are unbearably basic. Squirrel Girl is not one of those. She is pretty good. When I tested her versus MODOK, and she was very good against MODOK. What we want to know is she good versus Doctor Doom, right? I don't actually have Doctor Doom. I might get him later, and when I do, I'll definitely use Squirrel Girl to test to see if she can beat Doctor Doom like she did in the comics, right? All right, let's move on. So Squirrel Girl gets a good mark from me. She was a good character. All right, next up we have Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is really good versus Dormammu, which is like obvious, right? But I was actually very interested to know. Dormammu's in this box too, and we're going to get to the villains at the end. But yeah, Doctor Strange, his kit, his cards, is his powers directly like counter Dormammu, which is one of the better villains in the box. So if you're going to get Dormammu, I would definitely get Doctor Strange because Dormammu is very hard to beat without Doctor Strange. So Doctor Strange, very cool character, very unique the way he plays, very different from other heroes. I would highly recommend Doctor Strange. I think he's a good part of the box. All right, let's move into Vision. Oh, Vision's tall. Why are you so tall, Vision? Oh no, he's too tall. Vision broke my setup, man. Vision, you're too damn tall, dude. Okay, that's better. All right, we adjusted on the fly. Look at that. This is live, everybody. Okay, so we got Vision. All right, Vision's looking pretty good. He's got like a baby face. Here, when it does that, I have to wave my hand. All right, excellent. Looks good. All right, so we got Vision. Vision is the anti-Ultron. Now, Ultron's part of the base set, so it's cool to have a character that works with something in the base set so well. And I do believe I tried this against Ultron, and yeah, it was really fun taking Vision against Ultron. And you also get, in addition to Vision, of course, you get Scarlet Witch in the box. So you got Scarlet Witch and Vision. I mean, you can't have one without the other. And Scarlet Witch is really cool. She's a weird character. I would call her weird. Let me see if I can. Let me go to her cards and try to explain why Scarlet Witch is weird. And I like that. I like when the characters do different things. She cancels damage from Master Plan cards. She can do damage to adjacent characters. Okay, and the main weird power she has is that you can swap cards from her hand with any other face-up card in the storyline. A few characters can do that, but I think it's the combination of powers that make her different than other characters. And the box has a lot of thematic team-ups in it too, which I like. So not only do you have Vision, not only do you have Scarlet Witch, but you also get Quicksilver in there. So you got a little, here, just kind of muscle everybody out. There it is. Quicksilver can just mess up the whole family, right? There you go. You got the whole trio there. So you got Vision, you got Scarlet Witch, you got Quicksilver. I'd say this is one of the best trios in the whole box. These three characters, they're very interesting together, of course. And Quicksilver is very useful and unique. Quicksilver is able to actually pick up other characters and take them around the board, much like the Quicksilver like in the X-Men movies. So that one's very cool. I found him very useful, again, against Dormammu, who was one of the harder villains in the box. Quicksilver and Doctor Strange being very powerful in the game. In the base box, you'll actually find that Hulk is one of the most powerful characters, which is fitting because, you know, Hulk smash, he's the strongest there is. It's good to see other characters in this big box who are actually kind of on that power level and can do some of the things that are as effective as some of the characters in the base box, to give you a reason to use these characters outside of if you have a personal, like a particular affinity towards one of the characters. Like, I don't have any strong feelings about Quicksilver, but the way he works in the game is interesting enough that I would find myself using him, even though maybe I'm not the biggest Quicksilver fan, but I would be like, oh, his game mechanics are cool. Let me pull him in to this game, which is interesting. Okay, next up. Now, we got a whole slew of characters that are just okay. Let me see if I can just grab a bunch of characters that are just okay. We'll go through those fast because these are just not worth it. Like, if you're asking me, is this worth it, Heartgrave? These ones are just lackluster. They don't do anything different. Everything in the main box is better. It's like pointless to own this. Okay, and I'm back. All right, we're going to go through these rapid fire. Characters that don't matter at all. They're just okay. They're fine. If you like these characters, great. You might play as them. Otherwise, you just wouldn't. There's like no reason to do it. Falcon. Bring that back down a little bit. Falcon, totally okay. Doesn't do anything unique. Not very interesting at all. Then you have War Machine. Same boat. Just not very interesting. Doesn't do much at all. Got 2 big guns on him. He probably shoots people. I don't know. Cards suck. Not fun. Hawkeye. I mean, you knew Hawkeye. Who thought? Did anyone think like, oh, Hawkeye is going to have the best abilities in the whole game? Oh, look at Hawkeye. He's so good. No one would ever think that. Hawkeye always sucks. Here he sucks too. He's okay. He's fine. Okoye. Oh man, Okoye. She should be better than she is. She's a great character. Stop doing that. Don't do that. We're learning the technology right here live, everybody. Look, I don't even care if it puts a yellow box on her face because she's just okay. She's all right. She's nothing special. Okay, these characters suck. I mean, they're okay. They don't suck. There's some characters in this box that straight up suck. These characters are okay. So there it is. This character is actually OP as fuck. Okay, this character is one of the strongest characters in the box. I would suggest that, I mean, if you like playing with overpowered characters, this might be the character for you. Hey, you might want to play with just characters that aren't very good. You might be into that. You might be like, oh, I want to give myself a challenge and play a whole game with Hawkeye, which is what everyone who's ever selected Hawkeye in any video game has ever said, or board game. Like, I want a challenge. Let me pick Hawkeye. If you want to play with something overpowered and fun, you're going to play with Nick Fury. Nick Fury is just kicking ass in this game. He is totally overpowered. He looks boss as fuck, and he's everything. Let me try to read this off to you. See if I can go through his card real quick and tell you exactly what is making Nick Fury as badass as he is. Like, it's downright kind of broken. So he has cards which lets a hero of your choice immediately do like 2 actions, which is fantastic. If you play the game, you know what I'm talking about. And he's got 3 of those. So all of his special cards like instantly let someone else, no matter where the fuck they're at, do 2 actions, kind of like being like a master commander kind of character. Very OP, very good character. If it doesn't sound overpowered, use them in a game and you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's right. Nick Fury's wallet says bad motherfucker. Nick Fury's a bad motherfucker. I'm a big fan of him in the box. Okay. Back over to some mundane characters. All right, very cool mini. I do like Miss Marvel's miniature. It has a lot of motion to it, which is very cool. Stuff flying all over the place. Looking pretty awesome. However, she's just okay. There's really not anything out of the ordinary here. We got a few of those. Half the box is kind of just okay. So when you buy the whole box, it's not like every character is popping off. But there are, I don't know, we'll have a look at the end and kind of assess. I mean, you can make up your mind too. Maybe your favorite character is Miss Marvel. She's just okay. All right, some other characters that are just okay is we have Iron Fist. And Iron Fist, not a real surprise here. Iron Fist just does more punching. There's a lot of characters in the game that just kind of like do more of a thing, and Iron Fist does that. Just more punching than your average character. Not like an extreme amount of punching. Like Hulk does all the punching. If you look in the base box, Hulk punches everything. Iron Fist just punches a little more than average. Nothing shocking there. Elektra, also, it's okay, but verging on crappy, actually. Elektra is the first character in the box that is kind of lackluster, and I wish they would have done more with her. I don't know if they do this. I might have to reach out to Simon actually and see if they ever do any kind of patching on their games. Send out new cards maybe to fix something like this. Elektra kind of straight up sucks. Her cards do almost nothing. It's almost to your detriment to play as Elektra. Not happy with her at all. Miniature looks great. I mean, like almost every miniature in the box looks stellar. I can't argue with that. You know, these all look amazing. Just wish it would had a bit more game functionality to it. Looks fantastic though. All right, now we have a character who not only looks fantastic, but is actually OP. Seriously overpowered, seriously good character. One of my favorite miniatures in the box. For sure, it is Daredevil. And it's one where we got to move the camera because he's so tall and awesome. But yeah, Daredevil is fantastic. I think he just goes around and just kicks thugs' asses all over the board. A wonderful, wonderful design on the miniature. We're going to give him the full 360. Oh yeah, there we got it. Make sure you like and subscribe for the 360. We all love that. Daredevil. Worth it. One of the characters that I actually bought the whole box for. Like when I looked at a few of the characters in the box, I was like, you know what? I really want these characters to be able to use these in the game. Daredevil is definitely one of them, and he didn't let me down. He's also a very good character to use. I wouldn't feel like an idiot for picking him. Like you got so many, you can only play with like 4 at a time, right? Between you and your friends or whatever. You don't want to pick a shitty character. You want to pick a character you like. You want him to have good cards. Daredevil does both things. I'm really happy with him. All right, let's go ahead and talk about these together. We're going to talk about Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. They're married, or were married at one time. I don't know. Move that down a little bit. There we go. All right, move him over, move her over. Beautiful. Oh, you know, I just can't get the frame quite right. There they are. There they are, looking good. So Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. Not bad, not okay. They're good. These are good characters. So if you're a big Luke Cage, Jessica Jones fan, you're in luck. They're a little better than not bad at all. So I'm pretty happy about them. I just noticed that one of my lights is visible in the corner. That's very tacky. I don't think it. Ah, that's better. I can just move it away. Excellent. Speaking of moving things away, we'll move those away. All right, another OP character. All right, this was pretty much the whole box for me. I'm a big Punisher fan. Absolutely. Huge Punisher fan. Always been a big fan of the comics. And yeah, one of the things that was bumming me out about missing out on the big box was not getting Punisher. And his miniature looks great. His cards really hold up. He's overpowered in the game. Excellent looking miniature. I think we're gonna do another 360. I think we have to do the 360 for Punisher. Yeah, it looks fantastic. Absolutely great miniature. He's got this massive bazooka on him. Loving Punisher. Fantastic. Very happy that they didn't make Punisher suck like they did. Oh, they did her dirty. Mockingbird sucks. Mockingbird sucks. This is another. Why did they do the females so wrong? Elektra and now Mockingbird just suck. Just suck in this. And I don't know why. It's not right. I didn't make it up. I don't want it to be true, but it's true. She sucks. And you know what? I said all the miniatures were good, but this is not the best. I have to be honest. This is not the best. We could do better with Mockingbird. There's a lack of motion here. She's just kind of standing there. It's barely a fighting stance. I'm just not feeling it. I want a better Mockingbird, Simon. I'm sorry. I want better cards. I want a better mini. I don't feel like we did this right. It's wrong. Please fix this. I gotta ask. You gotta fix it. Mockingbird's better than this. Not enough people know who Mockingbird is. If you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that might help. She was just alluded to at the end of Hawkeye. Was married to, in one version of the comics. I don't know, one version of Mockingbird. There might have been multiple agents by the name of Mockingbird. This sucks. So this is a better character. She's okay, and the miniature's better. We have a nice Spider Woman here. And she's one who her head's getting cut off there a little bit. There we go. Bring her a little more into frame. But yeah, Spider-Woman's good. Spider-Woman's good. Maybe not my favorite miniature either. Maybe it might look better painted. I don't know. I like the motion. I like how the hair is up in the air. Looks pretty cool. I'm happier with it than Mockingbird. After Mockingbird, really anything's a step up. Mockingbird was really disappointing. Okay. Now we have a solid character. We have Shang-Chi. All right, Shang-Chi looking pretty good. Don't mind the sculpt on this. It's pretty nice. And he is OP actually. Not only does he has a problem that a few of these have where it's just like more punching. But for Shang-Chi, it's like Hulk levels of punching. It's a lot more punching. Let me see exactly how much more punching Shang-Chi has. Let me tell you if this is like Hulk has an ability, I keep talking about him, where basically he can like clear the whole board. When you set up Marvel United, you got all these like, thugs all over the place and civilians, and Hulk can just like destroy everything. And I think Shang-Chi is on that level, if I recall. Yeah, he can put out so much punch. Not as much as Hulk. He's pretty OP, not Hulk OP, but pretty damn good. And no, he doesn't rewind any turn meter. Fans of Marvel Strike Force will be disappointed because Shang-Chi is not as overpowered in this game as he is in Marvel Strike Force. But he's pretty good. All right, another good character is, now you might not know this guy. This is Spider-Man 2099. Now, I'm going to say one of my complaints with Marvel United in general is they've kind of gated Spider-Man out of the base set. As one of the bigger characters in the game, I feel like that was maybe unnecessary. Like, you can pick up that's why I say this is a good deal on Amazon right now, where you get Spider-Man. Really, this is how the game should have looked more like this going to retail than maybe it was focused more on Avengers without Spider-Man. But I feel like Spider-Man's really hard to separate from Marvel at this point. So not including him in the set, and then as a stretch goal, you get like this the only Spider-Man you get if you didn't buy the expansion with Spider-Man in it, the Spider-Verse expansion, is this Spider-Man 2099. I feel like he should be the expansion, and Spider-Man should have just been in the base box. He does look like a Ninja Turtle. I don't know. Is there a better angle to show on him, or does he always look kind of... He does look a little funky. Maybe it's to make him look a little different. I think maybe it's his head. He's a little too close to the camera there. You can kind of see him a little better. I don't know. He's just good. He's not okay. I'm not a huge fan of Spider-Man 2099. If you are, I imagine it's cool to see him represented. But I don't know. Okay, next up. Now, this is a character you're able to actually get outside of the Kickstarter. He did make it to retail, but only if you bought the game at Walmart, which is weird. And then you're going to be missing Wasp, of all things. Like, I don't have Wasp because I bought the Venom version first. I was like, oh, I'm gonna just buy, I'm gonna buy one copy of the game and get Venom. Venom is one of the better sculpts. Venom is a seriously cool looking miniature, maybe one of the coolest miniatures in the whole game. So if you didn't buy your base set at Walmart, this is one that you might be a major selling point for you to get this box, because you do get Venom in it, and Venom's looking killer. Very cool. We also have villains in this box. We have Carnage and a villain version of Venom as well. So you actually get two Venoms to play with here, both a hero and a villain. Venom, however, is only okay. He's nothing to write home about in the game, which is a shame. I'd like to see him more overpowered, actually, because of how cool the miniature is. But you know what? I think we're still going to play with Venom anyways, just because the miniature is so goddamn cool. Okay. Super OP. Here we go. I'm actually really happy this one's super OP, especially before, especially given like the other female characters that weren't OP. Looking at Mockingbird and Elektra, I'm glad we did get a female character that is truly OP. Unexpectedly, I wouldn't have seen it, is Black Cat. So Black Cat, of all things, I think she's really mind-blowingly OP. I don't know why she is so good. Most characters only have 3 like special cards in their deck. Black Cat has like 6. I don't know why Black Cat has 6, but she does, and they're all really good. She basically like messes with the master plan. So the villain will have this master plan deck, and basically often she can look at it and go like, I don't like what's going to happen. Let's pick a new one. Black Cat, awesome. I like the miniature too. I like the motion on it. Hair looking very cool and extremely OP. So a character that maybe I don't have strong attachments to, but I would definitely play in the game because her mechanics are unique and interesting, which is really what we want to see here. We want to see as many characters that have unique, interesting mechanics, because otherwise you're just like reskinning the same deck over and over and over again, which can get very, boring. Like, why am I paying $400 for the same character over and over and over again? So I'm really happy when characters like this are in the box. Now, one thing to be said about all this is if you did back the Kickstarter, even at the lowest level, you would get all this stuff for free. You know, for free, whatever that would be. Like, I think you basically paid like $60 instead of what like the $30 that it is at retail. And then you got this whole box as part of the Kickstarter. So that's why it's really good to get in on the CMON Kickstarters if you're interested, is you do get some pretty sizable value. Especially with Marvel United. They've done 2 Kickstarters so far. Not sure if they're going to do a third, but that was one way to get all this content, all these miniatures for a lot less than it's selling for now. Okay. Well, fans of Marvel Strike Force would know this is a bit of an in-joke for us, but America Chavez did make it to the game, and she turned out to be merely okay. Nothing special, which is what she is in Marvel Strike Force as well. It's a shame, we like it's a great looking miniature. I mean, for for maybe what is like a lesser known character, it's a fantastic miniature. I like the star that she's coming out of there. I like the motion on it. It's very cool. Good miniature, okay character. Okay, I got two characters coming up here, and both of them are good. So not great, but good. First off, we have She-Hulk. This is like the Tony Scungili moment, isn't it? We're talking about America Chavez. We're talking about She-Hulk. This is for you, Tony. Another content creator here in the great state of New Jersey. All right, here we go. So She-Hulk. I'm not loving this sculpt. I think we did She-Hulk wrong again, everybody. I think we did. We could have done better. We could have done better. I really feel like we could have done better with She-Hulk. However, we did good on her cards. She does do massive damage, huge amounts of damage. Not Hulk levels of smash, but maybe She-Hulk levels of smash. Okay, going over to a better miniature, though. This is another one that really sold me on the box. I love this miniature, and he's really good in the game, too. The cards are excellent. Yeah, it's Moon Knight. Moon Knight is looking fantastic. So Moon Knight gets his own little piece of building that he stands on, which is very cool. His cape is kind of billowed out there. He's looking great. There we go. That's a nice angle on Moon Knight. So yeah, Moon Knight's one of my favorite ones in the box. He's one of the reasons why I wanted to get the box, even after the Kickstarter had passed. Very happy about him in the game. Okay, now we're going to bring on two characters. Here's another. All right, we got here's the batch of characters that I wanted the whole box for. Yeah, if you ask Mr. Hargrave why I did this, why I went in for this box at the point when I did, not a part of the Kickstarter, bought it off a third party, it was because of these three characters. So you had Moon Knight, who my ranking on Moon Knight is that he's good. However, both these next characters are really good, which I was happy about because it's the reason why I went in for this whole thing. You got Blade and a Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. So this is awesome. You got yourself a Midnight Suns team in the box, and they're all really, really good, especially Blade and Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. One thing we're missing in Marvel United, though, even after two Kickstarters, is a original Ghost Rider of all things. As far as I know, it's not included in either Kickstarter. So I guess it's possible we might see a third Marvel United Kickstarter, since we still haven't seen a old school Ghost Rider. I don't know. Maybe we don't get an old school Ghost Rider. I don't know. Simon, what's up? Reach out. Let me know. When do we get old school Ghost Rider? Do we get him? But hey, I'm really happy with what we did get. I'm loving both of these guys. Look fantastic. Great miniatures, great cards, big asset to the box. Very happy they were included. Yeah, that pretty much sold it for me on those. Okay, couple more characters here. We're almost out of heroes, and then we'll start talking about the villains. Nova. So Nova's interesting, not only as a character, I like the miniature too. Kind of like a America Chavez kind of 3D action there. So a lot of characters have like this more punch mechanic. Nova actually has more stars, which is cool. So instead of punching more things, he can clear more threats or save more civilians than other characters, which is kind of a unique mechanic. So it's really cool. We have a unique character that does unique things. That's kind of a winner in my book. And sticking on that subject, we have Nebula. So Nebula, also very unique. She has a very unique risk-reward mechanic where she can replace everyone. It's actually rather OP what she can do. She can make it so everybody who's playing can switch a card that's been played to the master plan back to their hand, and get rid of something that they don't want. And she can do it to her own card. So that card she can continuously recycle. Now the problem with it is that the risk part is that you delete a master plan card every time you play that card. So that usually means if you run out of master plan cards for the villain, you lose. So risking loss, you get this amazing buff to your team. Everybody playing. So very cool character. Actually becomes essential to beating Dormammu, and I'll explain that when we get to Dormammu. We'll probably talk about him last because he was one of the most interesting playtests that I did. And Nebula was the only way to really beat that guy was to lean on Nebula's almost broken mechanic at that point. In normal play, I think it's fine, but for Dormammu, it's broken. Interesting. Great character to have in the box, especially when she's paired with Dormammu, because if you get hung up trying to beat him, she's who's going to let you do that without, pulling your hair out. All right, we're sticking with some Guardians of the Galaxy here for a moment. Another surprising one. I mean, the female characters, a lot of the female characters we run into either totally lackluster or totally overpowered. In this case, we have Mantis, who is totally overpowered. Yeah, I don't even know why. But yeah, Mantis is nuts. Here, let me see if I can actually find out more specifically what makes Mantis insane. Because she is. All right, so Mantis, what was making her nuts? Oh, okay, she can have any hero draw 2 cards, which is basically like extra health, which is pretty OP. She gets to cancel master plan card effects. And she can use actions from other locations as well. Yeah, she is a great kit, varied kit that is rather OP compared to other characters. She's awesome. And to go with her, we've got a really awesome looking Drax, who I think is too big. I gotta bring the camera up. Too far up. Okay, there's Drax. He's just too big. He's too cool for school, man. He's way too big. All right, so Drax, he's good. Drax is good. He's better than okay. He's not overpowered, but he's really good. And yeah, I like him. He's got his knives up there. I think he probably looked better painted than he looks in his sculpt. I don't know. That angle's pretty great though. Pretty awesome. Pretty good Drax. Okay. This is an interesting one. I did not get to play with I played with most of these characters. We did test this thoroughly. It took many months. Me and my daughter played through this, maybe a couple of games every weekend, maybe sometimes in marathon session, 3 or 4 games. But we did play with a lot of these characters. One character I didn't get to play with, full disclosure, was this one. However, when I checked the cards out before I shot, he's like, I'm going to use him in my next game because he's insane. It's Howard the Duck. There he is in all of his glory. One of the best figures in the box, definitely, especially if you're a big Howard the Duck fan. As some of us Marvel fans, we like to pride ourselves in our weird Marvel knowledge, and one thing that we like is Howard the Duck. And he's insane. He's absolutely insane. So he has a card in his deck. No other card like this is in the entire game. And what he can do is he is able to, you can take the main bad guy of the game, which is like usually your goal is to take the main bad guy. They have like 20 health points and you have to take them down to 0. And it's usually a big effort to do that. He has one card, and with that one card, you can deal damage to a villain or henchman until they have 1 health. So you can take them from like 20 to 1 with 1 card, which is insane. Insanely overpowered. Maybe the most overpowered character in the whole game that I've seen. Totally nuts. Basically wins the game for you. this is something you'd have to decide whether you want to happen every game. You know, you got that one guy who always wants to play Howard the Duck because he's going to win. I don't know. It's a cooperative game, so maybe that's all right for you. He's definitely a joke character in the fact that he makes the game totally laughable, that he can just one-shot the bosses basically. But great. I like to see it. It's definitely interesting. It's definitely different. I want to see how it plays out in a game. I like to one-shot a boss. Let's go. All right, finally. The last hero I have, and this is a great miniature. This was one of the special characters that you got just through the Kickstarter if you did one of the larger pledges. I'm also missing Adam Warlock. I didn't get him. That was if you did like the all-in pledge, like the $400, $600. I don't know what it was. You got Adam Warlock. I did not get that, but I did get Yondu. And Yondu looks pretty damn cool. Yeah, I like the sculpt on him. You got the arrow going on there. Yeah, it's a nice angle. And he's OP. Yeah, I believe he's Hulk levels of OP where that arrow does fly around the whole board and like kill everything as you think it should. It does. He's basically, yeah, movie Yondu, and he can destroy the whole damn board with his little whistling arrow, which is awesome. Okay, let's get into these villains. I could make it 2 videos, but let's just make it 1. We've waited long enough, Heartgrave. You have stalled this video for so long. For the 6 people that wanted to watch it, thank you so much for making it this far. Thank you for all the support. All right, so those are the heroes, and they're great. And some of them are better than the others. And should you make up your mind based on that? I don't know. What we know, though, as Marvel United players, if you play Marvel United, if you have the base set, you know that more important than the heroes are the villains, because the villains change like the entire game. The heroes are very interchangeable, most of them. Some of the characters in this box, as we mentioned, are very different, which is great, but a lot of them are like very similar. Most decks break down to being like all the same cards except for 3 special cards, which are duplicated many times over, except in the cases where I mentioned in this box that were like vastly different than other characters, but it's kind of few and far between. The villains, on the other hand, just about every one of them that I've checked out has entirely been like a different game. Like every time you play Marvel United, if you use a different villain, you're playing a different game. The rules are different. The win conditions are different. It plays different. So that's very interesting. And one of the reasons to get the box is you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different villains that all play differently. So let me break these down for you. Let me show you who you got in the box. First off, we have Corvus Glaive. Now this is interesting because in addition to being his own standalone villain in this big box, in the Kickstarter stretch goals box, he also is in a whole nother expansion, which I'll review in another video. If you want to see that, make sure you let me know by liking and subscribing and commenting down below, and then we'll do that. I'm gonna actually test it with my family this weekend. We haven't played it yet. It's the Infinity expansion. There, that's a better angle on him. We shoot these live, everybody. Okay, so Corvus, this is a different Corvus than the one that is in the Infinity Watch expansion. This Corvus, he should have been in the base box. In my opinion, this villain is one of the simplest and easiest, and he's a great starter. So if you're going to introduce new people into the game, I would highly suggest using this character to show them the game. If you're doing it at game night or something like that, and want to, maybe you're playing people that don't play a lot of video games, or you're playing with children, I don't know. Corvus Glaive is great. I really like to see this because a lot of the villains are either like massively too powerful or kind of in between and complex. They take you a couple of times before you figure it out. Corvus is very good right out of the box. Might get boring after a while, but you might use them a lot in that whenever you show it to a new person, you might be like, oh, we'll just fight Corvus Glaive. And then the next round, we'll do one of the crazier ones. Like... Oh, he looks so great too. This one's so great. MODOK. Oh, MODOK looks good. Let's go up. Let's go up. Let's go up. We're going up. MODOK. What a great sculpt on this. This is an amazing looking miniature. Oh my God. Also easy. Also fun. So another great one you can pull out for beginner players. I would fight against MODOK any old damn time. He's fantastic. Really different. The villains in this box are, like, I'm going to tip my hand. They're all fantastic. MODOK's no exception. They all look amazing. Yeah, it's a total winner. In terms of villains, this box did not disappoint. Another great one, Kingpin. There we go. Looking at Wilson Fisk there, looking good. So Kingpin's very cool. He has very overpowered threat cards. All the villains have these threat cards that you put on the various locations, and some of them are easier to get rid of than others. Kingpins are extremely hard. So a more advanced player would go against Kingpin with your for your game night. And you might want to bring in some of those overpowered characters. What's nice is that the characters that kind of go against him typically, Daredevil and Punisher, are very overpowered themselves. So they work real well to balance out. I like that design. When you have the villain characters, if they're going to be overpowered, I like it when the counterpart heroes are strong enough to beat them thematically. Also be excited to see, I don't have Spider-Man yet. I should be getting it at some point. How Spider-Man goes against Kingpin. I know they fight a lot too. Okay, something I didn't expect. This took me by surprise. Out of all the villains in the box, if you would have asked me which one would suck, I would say Bullseye. Bullseye would suck. Bullseye would be one of the worst characters in the game. He would be boring and stupid, and I would probably never want to play against Bullseye, because screw Bullseye. I don't care about Bullseye. Who cares about Bullseye? No! This is probably one of the most advanced characters in the game. Extremely hard. I would call it, and a long game too. It's going to take you a long time. He's very hard to beat. I was surprised at how complex and advanced Bullseye was in this game. Yeah, Bullseye. Who saw that coming? Not me. Okay, next up, another one, actually. Bullseye, didn't see that coming. Also did not see Rhino. Another big minute. Some of these bosses are huge. They're great. They're actually great. Rhino, he's just going out of focus because he's so large. There we go. I just got to get his head in focus. Can't see the rest of his body. He's gigantic. Look at this guy. Huge. Absolutely nuts. But yeah, Rhino. Interesting, different, and challenging. Wouldn't have thought so, but there he is. Another good box to get for this game, and we'll review that as well, is there's a Sinister Six box, which is like all villains, 6 of them. That one's very good too. When we get that one in, we'll review that as well. But yes, Rhino. Excellent in this box. We really haven't run into a stinker yet. These are all fantastic. Okay, here's one. Fans of the channel will know. There's actually already been a review on this. Zemo. That's right. Zemo's in the box, and Zemo's great. It's true. Everything Zemo said about it was true. Zemo is truly great. He's OP. He's OP. He's extremely hard to beat. It's like all of his threats are thugs, and they all have high health. He's extremely hard to take down. He's a master. He's the leader of the Masters of Evil, and so all the threats are masters, are all his minions, all of his like super villain friends. It's awesome. Yeah. Zemo is definitely one of the better parts of the box. How couldn't he be? Zemo, right? Zemo's awesome. All right. I've done enough talking. I've done enough saying nice things about Zemo for one day. All right, here's a big boy. This one's gonna have me adjusting my camera right here. All right, I like this one a lot. This one was really super fun. All right, that is Kang, is who this is. Great looking figure too. I love the height on it. Kang, yeah, extremely tricky, as a time traveler would be. So very tricky. He goes off the board a lot, and his threats are incredibly overpowered as well. So yeah, befitting a character of this magnitude in the Marvel Universe. I like it when that's the case. When there's one of these like transdimensional characters, they should be hard to beat. Kang is certainly difficult. He will definitely challenge you. Now, I said I didn't get to try a few things I didn't try. The reason why I did not try these characters, there are 3 villains I did not play through. And the reason why is because I'm waiting on other expansions to come in. I have 2 symbiote characters, and I'm waiting for, Spider-Man characters, because I like to take the thematic characters against them. These are all from Marvel United. And what we have here is we have Carnage. We got to lower it down, don't we? Yeah, I was also pretty sold at this point that this was worth it. Let me just tell you straight up, it seems worth it. Like, even if you're actually playing the game mechanics in this box do start to justify that price tag. Would I pay $300 for this box? I don't know. I didn't pay $300 for this box. However, if you can get it for half that, $150, there's a lot of game here. There's a lot of unique mechanics in here. There's 11 different villains. They all play differently. And yeah, 2 of them, and we've seen them before. We have another Venom. I think he's a little different than... Yeah, it's a different sculpt on the villain Venom than it is on the hero Venom. Yeah, there's 2 different Venoms, which is cool. They could have just used the same one and colored him red, right? No, we actually got 2 different Venoms, which is nice. So I like to see that it's not lazy, They didn't just recolor. Didn't recolor the hero Venom. We got a fight going on there. All right, looks great. Yeah, you barely have to paint Carnage. Carnage is one. Maybe you just spray paint him red, right? Maybe I could take this Venom and you just primer him black and you're good to go. Easy. I can be lazy. All right. So like I said, I didn't really play those 2 because I was waiting for the Spider-Man crew to come in before I challenge those. I'll do that though. As when I review the Spider-Verse box, I'll get Carnage and Venom out and we'll test them for that one. So I'm not going to skip them. We're just going to do them later. And same thing with Hela. When I get the Asgardian box, we'll test out Hela. Looks fucking great. Jesus Christ, Hela looks good. Yeah, Hela's awesome. Looks great. I assume she plays well too. I mean, everything in the box so far, as far as villains goes, was top notch. Nothing was broken. Everything worked. I guess there's one. All right, the hardest damn villain that I've ever played against in Marvel United. So far, I haven't played everything, but I played a lot of them. Was Dormammu, by far. Dormammu was a pain in the ass. So he's super hard, crazy hard. I had to look through every character that I own for Marvel United to come up with 4 characters that could actually beat Dormammu. And what I ended up having to do was take Nebula, Doctor Strange, Hulk, and Quicksilver. And we were able to beat him pretty easily with that combination. So you could probably use less, but I don't think you can use any more. I don't think there's any more power you can throw at him than that. That's probably, and just for Dormammu, because of what I mentioned earlier with Nebula, she has a special way that she can remove, because you can't hurt Dormammu normally, like you can with any other villain in Marvel United ever. He doesn't have health. You have to get through his entire master plan deck, which is almost impossible because all of his master plans are insanely overpowered. Howard the Duck will do nothing to Dormammu. That's the thing. He has no health. So I looked at Howard the Duck. I was like, oh no, he doesn't have any health. So only Nebula is able to hurt him more than anyone else. So using Nebula, using Doctor Strange, you can make his master plan card always visible, and that helps you beat him. And then Hulk just does like crowd control. Hulk is in the base set and is like the most overpowered character out of anybody, really, because of how much damage he can do to all the surrounding areas. So you got to use Hulk just to control what's happening. And then finally, Quicksilver's ability to take people up and run them around really paid off well, because the best strategy is to be on the same spot as Dormammu so that he can't hurt you. If you're anywhere else, he can totally clap your ass in a hurry. You can trust me on that. I'm Mr. Hargrave. That's the end of the review, everybody. It took so long to make, more than 8 months? I don't know. It was insane. Thank you so much. If you've watched this long, those of you who are here live, thank you. This is the first of its kind. If you want to see more stuff like this, let me know. We have the ability now to show off miniatures. We're going to get more Kickstarter stuff coming in. We've backed Marvel Zombies, so when that comes in, we'll check it out. I'm about to get the second Marvel United Kickstarter with all the X-Men and all the expansions, so we can do a lot of these if you're interested. Let me know. Are you picking it up? And keep digging.